Welcome to another episode of Her Story. I'm Diana Bailey, Executive Director of the Maryland Women's Heritage Center. We have a great show for you today. Our guest today is Oretha Bridgwaters Sims, who is a longtime educator in Prince George's County. Welcome back, and we're here with Oretha Bridgwaters Sims, and congratulations on your induction into the Maryland Women's Hall of Fame, 2016. It must be very exciting for you and your family.
It's very exciting.
Good. So tell me, how did you get here? Well, tell us a little bit more about your life and your career. And
It's a long journey. And I think that, and I have been here for some of the ceremonies in the past. Never thought I would be a recipient. But I have a long history of growing up in Louisville, Kentucky, where the opportunities were really few. And so I grew up knowing that I had to get myself together to get the career that I wanted. There were not many role models that I could really think about at the time because we didn't see black role models at any point, except in school.
except at schools.
I had so many teachers who really helped me to know that I could be a good teacher.
Were the schools segregated for you then?
They were, but then it took us in Louisville 9 years to desegregate. So I was able to go to middle school or a integrated school. But growing up in Louisville was very good because we had great teachers. And everyone who left high school could write. And we all knew that we were going someplace in life. The teachers put that in
That
us.
message came through.
But it came through in many ways. I think that we all decided to go off to college. That was the largest graduating class, the largest number of people who went to college. So after going to college, I decided to go into teaching, education, and then I went into counseling, guidance and counseling, and then the principalship. I was a principal for 19 years.
Here in Maryland?
Here in Maryland. And then I became a regional assistant superintendent where I served 68 schools. That was like a 24-hour job. But in those schools, I realized that you have to be there and do whatever everyone else would do. You got to be willing to do it. But I think that those soft skills played a big role in my life. It's not just that I had to have the scholarship. I had to know how to work with people. And all people. And to work with those children because we had to always keep in mind that we were there for those children and to help them get ahead. So I've come a long way, and I think one other reason that I'm here is that I was able to really get quite a few friends in Maryland, all over the state of Maryland, who were willing to help me in dealing with all of the projects that I wanted to do in order to give back to the community and the state.
You mentioned that you had a lot of teachers that were role models.
Yes.
Were there other people that were some of your role models as well, either in your community or in the world?
Yes. Actually, my mother was a great role model for me because she kept my mind on a career and how to get there and so forth. But at that time, I read so much. I read about Eleanor Roosevelt, Dorothy Height. So there were quite a few in Kentucky where, and even in the library, I could walk to the library and just, at that time, people checked out a lot of books. Yes. So I was able to read quite a bit, and I was able to get quite a few role models that way.
I know you're an educator and a long-time professional educator and role model yourself, I'm sure. But what would be some other messages you might have to young people, and particularly young women today, about finding their place or their voice, or whatever message you would give to young people?
Well, I think I would say keep your eyes on what you want to do and never give up. But I think that women today need to make sure that their communication skills are in order, especially soft skills where you have to get along with people. Because many times people can have the knowledge, but they may not know how to give it to others and how to use it to make a difference.
So you talked about your soft skills, but clearly you've had a lot of leadership roles
Yes.
as well. So in addition to the soft skills, what were some of the other things that you either learned or tried to demonstrate yourself in terms of exhibiting leadership?
Right. I guess I wanted to make sure that people knew the importance of making deposits, positive deposits or contributions, wherever they go. And so that people will know that you were there. Also, I think one thing that I really would like to emphasize is that we need to also dress professionally. And I used to say to teachers, if you wear play clothes, children will think they're here to play.
Right.
So we always have to stand up as women, though, and support each other as well. And our people will say, well, how do I pay you back? I said, you never know what this world will bring. I may need you in some way, but always be prepared to help the next woman.
It's just on your shoulders.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. And I don't think women realize how strong we are, how much power we have. When you put a woman in charge, things are going to work.
They're going to happen, right?
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
Well, and you've been in your profession for many years, and clearly you're a person who likes to stay involved with things.
Yes.
Have you thought about your encore career or what you're going to be doing in the next 10 or 20 years?
In the next 10 or 20 years, I want to be an expert at golf.
Oh.
And I want to improve my tennis skills. I'm playing every week. And actually, people my age, women my age, can play some tennis. This is in the 60s and 70-year-olds.
Wow.
So, yes.
So
I
you'll be
want to
taking care of
improve.
your health
But
and
I
activity.
also want to, keep giving to the community and working with the young people also. I'd like for them to hear some successful stories and try to help them get to where they want to be.
What are some examples of your current community work?
Right now, I try to help those kids who have been arrested and get them on the right track by doing many things with them, showing them a better way. I think the hardest part is breaking the ice, so to speak, and once the ice is broken, we can converse and really move on. I like to help the children get scholarships and to raise scholarship money. And right now, I'm also working with a group of women, retired women. There's about 100. We meet once a month, and we just talk about history and our careers and where we want to go. So I want to do some traveling as well, though.
Wonderful. You should bring your group of women to the Maryland Women's Heritage Center and have your conversation up there as a field trip
That
as well.
would be great.
Because
Let's
again,
do
it's all
that.
about history and networking, and again, your community has done so much. And those
Yes.
100 women, what a difference they all could make in addition to what you're doing for those out-of-school youth.
Exactly.
And the
And
students.
many of them are still giving back. I just wanted a life of giving. And I believe that we all need to give to make this place a better world.
You were talking about that group of 100 women or other groups of women. I know you've been very active in your sorority. Would you like to talk a bit about your sorority?
Yes. Oh, yes. I have been in the sorority, first of all, for 50 years.
Oh,
So I'm
Big part of your
considered- Oh, yes, that was a big part. And I would be considered a golden soror. For all those years, we have been giving back, and that is the goal of the sorority.
and which sorority
When I
is it?
started Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, in short, AKA, when I started 50 years ago in college, I saved money, milk money. At that time, milk was only 2 cents a carton, and gave milk to students in an elementary school, which was near the campus. We have given, I'll tell you, when I was the president of the sorority in Prince George's, we gave 500 white sheets to the women in South Africa who needed sheets for the hospital. And we have also, we give scholarships every year. And to, those seniors who are ready to go on. And sometimes we keep going with them to help them to completion. We also work with a group of teenage girls, helping them with literacy and giving them field trips and helping them to determine which college they should go to. We also bring the parents in to help the parents learn how to navigate the school system. It's so large in Prince George. You have to really know it and keep up with it. Then we have a group called the Popcorn Club.
Oh, I've never heard of
And
that.
that's, we work with those students at the end of a school day, helping them with
It's an after-school
work,
program?
after-school program. Provide some kind of training for them, all kinds. Take them on field trips and give them plenty gracious snacks. So we do that, and we have what we call a shoe bank. We collect students from the school system, all over the school system, who need shoes, and we take them in to purchase shoes for school. And then we have a family committee that we select families, take them shopping for meals, whatever they need.
Whatever they need.
But we keep up with those families and support them during the year. So we have a lot of things going on. I think we're looking now at, you know, how some students in certain neighborhoods don't really get out of the neighborhoods during the summer.
Right.
We used to have a library read-in, and this was in the town of Glen Hardy. So we're looking at doing some of that again, where we have the children, they have no place else to go. They can walk to the library, and we would have snacks and readers there for them.
So they could connect with adults, but also
Connect.
in a structured activity.
Right.
Wonderful.
And we had cotillion balls where we took the high school students, introduced them to society. So they meet with us for about 6 months or more. And then we have a ceremony where they're introduced to society.
Do they also learn skills that they might need to use in the workforce or in
Oh,
school? So it's not just the dance skills,
No.
it's the how to present yourself and
Exactly, and
yeah.
that's what they're doing over the 6 months. And I must say that in the Popcorn Club, we have added a STEM feature to that.
Oh, great.
So that these children leave and they know much more.
So that's
than
so
they-
they'll know more about math, science,
Exactly.
engineering, and science, technology, engineering, and math. Right.
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 Because the earlier they get it, the
Right.
better.
The more exposure.
They can
Absolutely.
learn, yes.
Absolutely.
yes. And I did bring a Japanese teacher here to teach Japanese to all of the students in elementary school. That worked out very well.
To bring another culture
Yes.
that seems so far away and it's great
Yes.
exposure.
Yes.
So I'd like to congratulate you again, Oretha,
Thank
for your
you.
induction into the Hall of Fame. And
Thank
looking
you.
forward to your next career and activities.
Thank
you so much for being here.
All right.
And we'll be right back.
And I am delighted to introduce to you the Mistress of Ceremony and the Queen, Annapolis City Alderman Sheila Burleson. Sheila is an educator, community activist, city legislator, and honors us tonight for her presence. Sheila. Thank you. Good evening. How's everybody? It's a pleasure to be with you, and Wanda, thank you for that introduction. This is such a special occasion, so it truly is a pleasure for me to be your Mistress of Ceremony this evening. I have to put on my glasses because I'm of that age. Every year in March, we recognize women whose achievements are historic in significance and whose accomplishments help us to advance the rights of women and girls. Each year in June, the Commission of Women has recognized girls in middle and high school with records of academic achievement, outstanding leadership, and extraordinary community service. Tonight, for the first time, these two programs have joined together for a single honoring of women and girls. Tonight, we will induct 6 amazing women into the Maryland Women's Hall of Fame, and we will award 5 young women, future leaders, every one of them, as Maryland Women of Tomorrow. Generations of excellence a legacy of leadership. That's the theme of the evening's event. This year's Hall of Fame honorees have made extraordinary contributions in a variety of disciplines, including public service, medicine and dental health, aviation, women in the military, community service, and literature. These exceptional women have paved the way for all who will follow, and we are here tonight to pay tribute to them and to thank them for their hard work and dedication. We're also here to recognize the next generation of leaders, our women of tomorrow, who have already demonstrated their talent and their accomplishments and their dedication to service, even at such young ages. And we want to honor these students for their hard work and to encourage them to continue that journey to excellence. But first, I'd like to introduce you to another extraordinary woman. Lee Betchew is chairman of the Women Commission, the Maryland Commission of Women. Lee?
Thank you, Alderwoman. And welcome, everyone. I am so proud to lead the Maryland Commission for Women in its work to advance the status of Maryland women and girls. There are so many distinguished guests with us this evening. Ms. Jimmy Hathaway-Bridgwaters, Deputy Chief of Staff, is representing Brown and Holman this evening. Ms. Hathaway-Bridgwaters, thank you so much for joining us. We have representatives from Senator Mikulski, Senator Hardin, and Congressman Van Hollen. And they have representatives. And if you'd like to come and say a few words, you're welcome to come and say a few words. Thank you.
Good evening. It's an honor to be here on behalf of Senator Mikulski, so I just would like to share some remarks with you from her. Greetings to the members and guests of the Maryland Commission for Women as you gather this evening to celebrate this year's inductions into the Maryland Women's Hall of Fame and the Maryland Women of Tomorrow. Congratulations to all of tonight's outstanding honorees. I put a high value on this recognition and treasure my own induction into the Hall of Fame in 1988. Throughout the history of this great nation, women have been trailblazers, using grit, passion, and determination to seize the day and make a difference. The rich history of American women includes Harriet Tubman, Sally Ride, Lillie Ledbetter, Rosa Parks, Helen Keller, Amelia Earhart, and the suffragettes, and Rosie the Riveter. I could go on and on, but instead I will say that we must not only honor the past and these amazing women before us, but we must also learn from it. Every time I step onto the Senate floor, I remember that one of my biggest priorities is women and families, and until the day that I leave the Senate, I will continue to fight. From equal pay and affordable access to child care to making sure that women who have served in the military are receiving the same benefits and recognition. Friends, I never dreamed of being a U.S. Senator, and I'm so humbled by the opportunity I have been given. I'm honored to share the Senate with 19 other women, and I hope to see even more in the future, maybe even some of Maryland's women of tomorrow. I stand on the shoulders of those who came before me and hope to have blazed a trail for those in the future. Thank you for including me in this uplifting event. It is always an honor to work with you to keep the dream of America alive for all of our daughters. Sincerely, United States Senator Barbara Mikulski.
Senator Hart is very sorry that he can't be here tonight to join you, but I am very honored to represent him. He often says that empowering women is one of the most important things we can do for the future of our country, and that the way a nation treats its women will very much be a barometer as to how well that nation is doing, how well they are doing with economic growth, and how stable their government. Senator Cardin has worked to ensure that gender equity is a priority. He is the lead Senate sponsor of a joint resolution to remove a timetable for ratification of equal rights amendment. He strongly believes that an arbitrary deadline for state ratification of the ERA should not stand in the way of equal rights for women. From his earliest days in elected office, Senator Ben Cardin has shown a willingness to stand up and fight for women's rights. He is proud of his record and looks forward to the opportunity to extend it in the years to come. He knows that there is much progress still to be made in order for women to receive the full and equal benefits of citizenship that they deserve. He will continue working to close the wage gap, protect reproductive rights, and promote equal protection and opportunity for all Americans. As a proud husband, father, grandfather to strong women, he has asked me to extend his congratulations and thanks to the work that the women and girls here that are being honored tonight.
Thank you, Lee. Good evening, everyone. I'm Karen McManus from Congressman Chris Van Hollen's office. Congressman Van Hollen sends his warmest regards to everyone, and particularly to the honorees this evening, the Hall of Fame and the Women of Tomorrow honorees. Congressman Van Hollen has been honored to join with Senators Mikulski and Cardin and the other members of the Maryland delegation to fight every day since he's been in Congress in 2003 and before, when he was in the General Assembly, in the House of Delegates, and in the Senate, to fight for the equal rights for women and for the things that women care about: choice, a good education for our children, child care, pay equity, and he will continue to do that. So thank you very much for having me, and he sends his warmest regards, and he does have congressional citations that he has prepared and asked us to give for each of the honorees. So thank you.
Our second honoree, Oretha Bridgwaters Sims. Ms. Sims was nominated by Dr. Beatrice Tignor. Ms. Bridgwater Sims has joined us. She started her education in Kentucky, Indiana, and New Jersey. But in her 19 years of award-winning service as principal of Glen Arden, her outstanding leadership in education and community initiatives won her induction into the Women's Hall of Fame. Her participation in state and national education initiatives put her in positions to develop and establish education policies, technology innovation, and creativity that will enrich traditional teaching methods for decades to come. In the community, she worked to bring women into the election campaign process and took on leadership roles in numerous organizations, including the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the Maryland State Human Relations Commission, as chair of the Board of Trustees of Prince George's Community College, and chair of the Maryland State Archives, the Maryland State Advisory Council for the Gifted and Talented Educators, just to name a few. Ms. Bridgwater Sims, we're so proud to induct you into the Maryland Women's Hall of Fame. Would you like to say a few words?
Good evening, and thanks again for coming out to participate in this outstanding program with us. I am extremely honored to be inducted into the Maryland Women's Hall of Fame. And I know that there are many women out there who are doing extraordinary things every day in our state. I want to thank the Maryland Commission for Women for your continued support and recognition of women and girls in our state. You play a crucial role in the lives of many women. I would be remiss if I did not share with you that every challenge that I face only strengthened me to be the person I am today. And acceptance of this award reminds me of the wonderful journey that my life has traveled over the years. None of the things mentioned about me could have happened without the support of a strong family, friends, and colleagues, many of whom are here today. I see you. I think often of how they touched my life as I set goals and priorities to do the things that I could do to give back to the community as well as the state. So I thank all of you. I thank those who thought enough of me to nominate me for this honor. I feel as though I have been blessed to have a combination of individuals and friends of whom I have had the opportunity to work, play, laugh, and yes, cry. The women who opened doors for me to enter, set goals for me to follow, and provided me the wisdom to know that all battles do not have to be fought openly, but instead be wise enough to blaze new trails by leading, sharing, and encouraging. So to those women who came before me, including my mother, this recognition is for her as well. Remember, for those women who are coming after me, I want to say to you, keep your eyes on the prize. And I want you to not give up. Even though you may see your dreams, you may think they're not coming to fruition. Remember, it is never over until you want it to be. And a true example of that can be seen in the women that you see here today. We did not give up. So in closing, for those who have touched my life in any way, I am truly grateful for your support. And to the Maryland Commission for Women, I thank you again.